Welcome to Kung Fu number 2. I'm trying to go live on TikTok and IG, and this tablet is now giving me problems. Okay, there we go. Are we about to go live? So we're about to go live on IG, and we're about to go live on TikTok. Come on, damn it. I'm not uploading photos. I literally am trying to... Motherfucker. I hate technology, y'all. So I just engaged the live button for TikTok. I definitely got to get a Samsung tablet. When all is said and done, I got to get a Samsung tablet. All right. So TikTok and Instagram, we're waiting for them to kick in. Instagram is here. TikTok is okay. I don't know what the hell is going on with TikTok. Okay, the countdown's on for TikTok. All right. So welcome. I hope you guys have everything in range. And let me step out of frame of all three so y'all can see I have three bobs. So, well, they're scarecrows disguised as bobs, or as they said in Tropic Thunder, these are the dudes playing the dudes disguised as another dude. All right, so here's what's gonna happen. I am going to teach you a three-man technique about body position, but that's gonna come later in the video. The first thing I'm gonna actually do is deal with weapons, and before I do anything else, I will give you the best advice I can give you. Please do not try this at home. I will end this live and this video for YouTube as well as Instagram and TikTok with bound fighting. The most important thing you need to understand about bound fighting, when I run through this shit, I give you the do's and don'ts first, because those are the most important things that you are ever going to know. There's never going to be a time in your life where you're going to be that person who's tied up in fighting. But if you are, you're going to be able to know that it can't be done. Now, most of the tied up fighting, I'm going to tell you, to be honest, you want to save that shit for the movies. It makes great film work. But if you ever have to actually be in a situation where you have to have your hands tied up and you're fighting, you don't want to engage unless you have to, and you want to find the easiest escape route. So we're going to do that last. So first we're going to start off with some simple shit. Nunchucks. Alright? Now, I got these trusty training red nunchucks. You have to understand that nunchucks are short-range weapons, so you need to be able to get in and get out. And for short people, you have to understand the three ranges. Close range. This is more control. It's a little less control. That's mid-range. And this is long range where there's little to no control. But it also depends on who teaches you and how you choose to use the nunchucks. So one, if you got to get into a fight, this is your options. There, 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 there. So you're going to go side to side, up and down. That's pretty much it. And some of those sides will be in angles. You know, you're not going to do this. No one in their right mind that sees you doing this is going to give you the chance to use these things this way. Understand that shit. This training at home, fine. You know, and everybody has their own special nunchuck trick. That's mine, so in case somebody ever tells me to drop my weapon, I catch them at elbow and I sling it, okay? I'm never going to get the chance to use that in real life unless I get to do it in a film, so if anybody wants to make a film, let's do that shit, just so it can look cool on camera. But if you happen to get into a fight with nunchucks, your range is your arm times the nunchuck, alright? Short range, they're probably too close. Mid-range, they're probably still too close. Long range, they're not going to be that close. But as you can see on the swing, that will give you the distance on how you need to use these damn things properly. Because if you don't use them properly, someone's going to take them from you. Which is why you're not going to be doing this shit. Smart person, if you're the person without the nunchucks, when they're down here, it's where you kick. So, because they're going to have mad reaction speed. If you got long legs, you're going to put that shit right there. Right in their gut. While they're doing this shit right here, you kick the nunchuck. Bury this bitch right into their gut. And I'm sorry for swearing. But that's what you're going to do, because these things are dangerous if you're on the business end of them. If you're on the working end, they're dangerous for your opponent. If you're the opponent and you're on the business end of these things, these are some jawbreakers, man. They are very, very nasty. Getting hit by these things are not going to be fun. Which is why, again, if you're on the other end, this ain't going to happen against somebody who knows what they're doing. You're going against somebody who's an ace, you're doing this shit thinking you're scaring them or you're impressing them. You might be impressing them. You're probably not scaring them. And if they know what they're doing, when your chuck gets here, boom! These things can also knock you out, which is why I taught you the range of short range, mid range, and long range. Hopefully you have good grip strength, all right? And no, I'm not gonna use 2 chucks at the same time because in the reality of the fact is that at my old age, I kind of suck at doing that shit now. Okay. Just to prove that I suck, you know, for fighting, under, boom, boom. Strike, strike, back, okay? There you go. For everybody else who does all the fancy, smancy shit, it's just not gonna work in a real fight. I'm just letting everybody know, you know, if you're fighting someone who's never fought, then you have a shot. If you're fighting somebody who's been in a fucking couple of scraps, you got problems. All right, so let's talk about long range. This is my chain. I gotta be real careful how I work this because I don't want to ruin the scarecrows. So this will not be a long demonstration, but if you know how to work the meteor hammer or the rope dart, pretty much the same technique. You know, around, control your weapon. My alarm's going off, I'm sorry, hold on. Okay. So, you know, with this chain, that's my range. My arm ties the chain. That's full range, you know, short range. So if they're right here in the short range, boom, you know, I'm not gonna have to worry too much if I'm using this chain. If I'm using this chain, I got all day. This, that's a strike. This is also a strike. They're coming right at me. So I can strike them with this, spin it back around, control my weapon. Boom, boom. But for the record, if you have a long range weapon, you're not really going to be putting too much use of your body. You know? Like how to spin it around, and I hit Bob. So that threw everything off. But once you learn how to control it, it's going to prevent you from getting hurt by your weapon. You do not want to get hurt by your own weapon. That would be really, really bad. Okay, now we're going to go to Chobos. I know you guys are thinking, why are you rushing through? Well, I'm rushing through for a reason because I want to hurry up and get to the body stuff because your weapons are an advantage that can be taken from you at any time. Please remember that. A weapon can be taken from you at any time if you're fighting someone who knows what the fuck they're doing. Which is why I always tell people, never bring the weapon to a fight, be the weapon in the fight. When you're training with these, that's a no-no. You're not going to get into a fight, that's going to happen. That's why it's a no-no. That's why you're not going to get into a fight and be like, alright, so that was a recovery. But you're not going to get there. Even with these tapes, and even though they are wrapped, so that you guys can get a closer look, this binding under my tape, so that you guys can have good grip. You saw how well that worked. It didn't. But it's so that if you're going to be fighting with them, you also are never going to do this, boom, smack, pull it out, whip it around. You're not going to do that shit. When you start hitting people with the chobos, you do not stop hitting them with the chobos. Block, strike, 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 you keep going. Now if you're going to do Kung Fu, you want to block and get to the outside of them, boom, boom, versus block and then here because they have another stick that they're going to counter. For those who have taken Kempo, you understand the drill. Because you can do this and hit all day. I think Kali might do the same, but Kali has longer sticks. Chobos are short, very, very short. So basically, you know, you want to be able to hang your shit together, but you know, I'm a short guy. I'm 5'3.5", I'm 125 pounds. I can't be playing with none of you young people. If I have to do this, I fucked up. When I get into this rumble, and We both got chobos. Boom, boom. I'm getting in, I'm getting out. Block your strike, hit you. But if you block, I got to be able to return, which is, again, I want to get to the outside using Kung Fu and Kempo versus using Karate. So if you swing here and I block here and then I got you because I put your body in this direction. All right? Body positioning in fights are very, very, very important. I hope these things are working because nobody's showing up, at all. I might be having a tech issue. If you're here on TikTok and you don't see me, I'm sorry. I think I'm having a tech issue because usually it invites people or whatever. I don't know what that does. I'm not touching it. Same thing with Instagram. I think I'm having a tech issue. I'm going to keep going, though, because the show must go on. All right. So, these are training kamas. They're wood. No one's going to get hurt, especially me. This is your do. Block, strike with the sword, strike with the sword. Pull it out. This is your don't. Block, strike, pull out, whip it around, and strike. Now, as cool as that shit may look, that is a big fat fucking no. When you block their weapon and you gash them with your weapon, you don't stop. It's not a freaking pissing contest. It's not, do, shoot, shoot. Let me pull it out. Let me look cool. See how that happened? That's why you don't do that. And with real ones, you'll probably use like your fingers. And I know y'all see the tournaments where people are doing this funny stuff and then they're whirling this thing. Yeah, you see that? That's gonna get you killed. Now, granted, the prop weapons are designed to not hurt you, but if you think you can't get hurt with a prop, then you're smoking dog food because you can still get hurt with a prop weapon. Even these wooden things, if they fly out my hand and hit me in my leg, which has been seen on YouTube, that shit does hurt. I play it off very well, but that shit does hurt. So again, in real life, if you're in combat with these things, one, they're short range. Real kamas are smaller than these. They're like at that point right there, just big enough for one hand. All right. So when I'm blocking with this bitch and the sword, I gotta make sure that sword gets right in there, because if it gets down here, I don't have a hand. All right. So I'm blocking. Boom. I'm striking. I'm striking. I'm striking. Now what I'm not gonna do is I'm blocking. I'm striking. I'm whipping this bitch out and whipping it around and doing that. We're not doing that because that's going to get you fucked up. All right. Again, I'm sorry for cussing. Now, here's the thing. We're going to use my imagination and turn these from kamas into tonfas. Now, I say this all the time, and you will find your niche when you start doing tonfas. I am an outside to inside guy, so I swing out. Some people are inside to outside, so they swing out that way while I swing out this way. All right, now, in the event that you have an actual tonfa, because this is a little too short up here, not down here. Here's actually too long, but that's fine because it's not a real tonfa. But if you have a tonfa, down there is fine. Up here it's going to be a little higher. So if you throw a jab, then you will strike. If you throw a jab, and you will strike. If you're one of the inside guys, you will throw a jab and then you will strike. If you throw an uppercut and then you will strike. Now this is where shit gets messed up, because if you throw an uppercut and you don't clear your body, you're going to knock yourself out. And that is why I am an outside to inside versus an inside to outside. Also, when you swing it out, if you don't clear your body, you can probably break your own rib with your tonfa. So you don't want to do that. Okay? So we're going to move on, because I'm really trying to get to the body thing with the 3-man position and shit. I know you guys are rushing. So, yeah, I know I'm rushing. I also want to do bound fighting. So these are sides, and now you see why you don't do that shit. Sorry, Raphael. If you're a Raphael fan, these are basically what these are for. For swords coming down, and if you have excellent eyesight because the hand is quicker than the eye, it's to block in here. Alright? It is not for you to do this. It is not for you to do this. It is not for you to do this. And now you see why. These are close-quartered weapons also. And if you mess up with this, yeah, like if you're doing this and you're getting ready, that's fine. But if you're doing this shit and thinking you about to go into battle, you do not fight with these like this. This is a no-no. This is a movie shit. If a sword's coming in there, guess who don't have fingers? That would be you. So your hand should always stay at the bottom of the hilt because it's safer for you to have your hands. Alright? Now I'm going to be honest, I love size. I would never take these damn things in the battle. Alright? I don't care if I was a side phenom. I don't care if I could roll this bitch this way and this way, get it stuck, roll it here, it got stuck on my glove, that's why I said that. And do that, you do it with both hands, you know. No, these things are death traps for you. I don't want to break off your Ninja Turtle fantasy, but these things are death traps. You know, you're not going to do that. No one's going to let you get that close to them and roll this bitch. When you block that sword, you're in. Push them off because you're in. You're not going to do this. You're not going to do that. You're not going to do this because that's what's going to happen. Here's the reality of it, man. They're cool. They look cool. You can roll them. You got some guys on YouTube and other social medias that do this shit all day. But I promise you, they ain't took these motherfuckers in the battle. I promise you, they have not taken these things in the battle. These are death traps. You will be fingerless if you try to block a sword. As it's coming down here, take your thumb. So don't do dumb shit. You want to train with these things? Great. Don't do that. Roll it at a distance, because these things can't take out an eye, you know. And you gotta have grip. You see my gloves aren't allowing me to have grip, you know. So block, boom, get in and get out. Size are death traps. I'm sorry if I just ruined your fantasy. I really am. So before you can mess with an actual katana, and again, this is Sabatu. If you're training at home, remember what I said, you're training at home. So this is okay. Because you're at home. Now when you get into an actual fight, it might help to know how to actually use this thing. Block, block, strike, 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 strike. Those strikes can also be blocks. You know, because they're coming down, they're chopping at your legs. So you're going to block. You know, block, 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 block. You're going to protect all of this. That's what this is for. So if you're going against another ninja or samurai, you know, it's not going to matter what hands at the top because your life is depending on what happens next. So if they're coming at you, boom, boom, that's one. Boom, boom, they're coming this way. So I'm blocking here and I'm blocking here. Why am I not trying to block and come back? Because I am not good with this damn thing. I'm not going to tell you something that's going to get you killed. And anybody can get a hold of a sword and do this. Switch hands. But just because you can do that does not mean you are going to be allowed to do that in combat. Don't get the movie magic mixed up with real shit. Right? I will not fight with this in combat. It's wooden. Still dangerous, but it's wooden. This is a katana. Okay. So before you ask, it's a movie prop. That's why they have these little niches in them. And it has a chainsaw. You see they've been filed down so that you can't cut yourself. But if you don't know anything about weapons, it's generally the force behind the blade versus the sharpness of the blade. The sharpness does help too, but you know, you're gonna be real careful doing shit like this. As you notice, I've tightened my grip. Now, I don't really give a crap if you use this grip or if you use this grip, because I'm never going to take a sword fight. That's just not going to be me. I'm not going to lie about that shit. If we're making a movie, we're going to be exceptionally careful. And we're going to make sure that the sword expert is my stunt double. Alright? Which I thought I was just going to, we're going to make sure the sword expert's the guy I'm fighting. He's an expert for a reason. I don't want to mess him up. And I don't want to get messed up. So if you're going to fight with swords, please get taught proper form, proper technique, proper everything. I believe there was a blade in here, but I think when they sold it to me, they sealed the shit shut. But it would be cool if there was a Tonto in here, because I could just pull it out. This thing does not move. You know, I don't really know if there's anything in there or not. But it's on god awful tight if it's in there. But if it was one in there, you just, like, I cut here, pull it out and stab you. So, you know, it pays to know what you're doing when you're fucking with swords. Alright? The last weapon on the list is a terracotta sword. The old Chinese army wands. I call her Mulan. Do not attempt to do that, and you will never do that on the battlefield. Draw. Shield, strike, strike. You're not going to do this. You're not going to do that. When this thing comes out, it's ready for battle. That's it. Boom, 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 boom. That's it. Block, 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 strike, 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 block, 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 block. Now, you ain't doing this against nobody. And you see how I just threw the sword and caught it in my hand? In a split second, hand's gone. We don't want that to happen. So you don't want to take that into battle doing shit. What's happening, Brother Broly? I'm pretty sure it's not going to let you up, but I did push the invite. I hate technology. I swear to fucking God. You want to share the live, that's fine. I don't know what time it is. I still don't know what time it is. I don't know what time it is. Okay, fuck it. Well, anyway, okay, it is 5:45. 5:46. So, you know, the thing with martial arts is that the most important skill you're ever going to have come from your hands, your forearms, your elbows, your knees, and your feet. Those are the most important things that you are going to need. These are tools. They are supposed to be an extension of your skill set. However, let's be frank, or let me be honest. How many of you walk around with a katana all day? Nobody. How many of you walk around with a big gold yellow chain all day? Nobody. How many of you sit here and walk around with a pair of sais or nunchucks all day? In some cities and some states, that shit's fucking illegal. So you're not going to do that shit. And you're never going to have to use them. Now, what I've been waiting for. We are going to work on the 3-man technique and body positioning. So hopefully I will be in frame as I down a little bit of this Gatorade. Gatorade should give me a job. Just saying. Excuse me. Anyway, so what we have here, hopefully y'all can see, this is a 3-man scenario, and the most dangerous person is the one behind you. Alright? So no matter which way I'm facing, the guy behind me is the most dangerous. So it's this guy, I'm over here, it's this guy. And I want to be where I can get them to where I can mess up their plans. A well-organized team is going to beat my ass. An unorganized team, I'm going to win. Now, if these guys are backing me up, then the first thing I should do is throw a back elbow, because it's a lot safer than throwing a back fist. I know, a lot of people are not going to agree with that. Let me explain that before we go any further. If I throw a back elbow, you can push it off without me getting my shit broke. If I throw a back fist, my back elbow can be broken and now I can't use my fist. So if I throw a back elbow, I can back elbow and I can punch down to the ground. Alright? Once I hit him here and hit him here, hit him here and hit him here, he's going to bend over. When he bends over, I'm going to knee him in the face. Alright? Now, since this guy's closest, I'm going to push this guy into that guy and I'm going to kick the shit out of this guy. Alright? Now, the thing is, you got to understand you're fighting 3 people. If you're lucky, they aren't well organized, and you're going to be in great shape. You know, because I got 3 people. Now, let's say I got this guy and these 2 are hoarding me towards him. Boom! I elbow him. He's the closest. Kick, and then I'm gonna punch. All right. Now the reason why I'm gonna do that is because this guy was closest, and if you see where my body positioning is, this elbow or this elbow is my best option of stopping the guy behind. All right. He's also about my height. All right. This guy's a little tall, so I'm gonna be a little bit more scared or intimidated by him. So I'm gonna try to fuck him up first, then this guy. But this guy's the actual first target because they backed me into it. Now, another thing, I want to get where I can see all three of these guys. So if I elbow this guy and he goes down, I back fist him. I'm gonna step through here so now I can see him. Now they're gonna have to turn to face me because I got out of their range. All right. Now that I've gotten out of their range, I got a better chance of defeating them versus to just stand right here. So if I stand here, boom, 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 I still gotta worry about this guy. He's coming, he's right next to my leg. Boom. So he's in kicking distance. And now I gotta worry about this guy. This guy's down, but he's not out. So I still gotta worry about this guy. This guy's down, but he's not out, but I'm still gotta worry about this guy, this third guy. So you have to understand, if you are going to fight them, you are going to need to get the fuck out of the way. So when you elbow, back fist, he comes down, bam! You bring your knee to his face. Now I can use him as a shield for him as I kick this guy. You see it in the movies all the time. But you gotta make sure you understand one thing. Movie fighting and real fighting is gonna be a whole different ball game. It's gonna be a whole different game of how can these guys beat my ass. So when I elbow this guy, you notice I move my body between me and them. Still in striking distance, but this guy's further away. He's not as dangerous as this guy. This guy, I can still hold him. If I elbow him and I put him in a headlock and I bring my knee to his face, I can still hold him. And I can make sure that he stays wounded long enough for me to deal with this guy over here and then deal with this guy over here. You're gonna need to know that in case you ever get jumped. Getting jumped is not fun. Understand that when it's more than one guy, you need to be able to move. You need to be able to find your way around all that shit. I'm pretty sure it's not gonna let you. It didn't let Broly. Fucking A. I can't fucking get you guys on. I'm sorry. But you gotta need to understand. This is not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. If you are in a fight with three people, you do not want your feet to leave the ground other than one at a time. You do not want both feet in the ground, because if I did this Flying Dragon Captain America combo, I kick here and I punch here, and I'm in the air, this guy, he got me dead to rights. I'm gonna be in the air, he's just gonna step in and push me. Or worst case scenario is I throw the kick and the punch and he catches my foot, he catches my hand. Now this guy has me because they're holding me. Alright? So in that situation, from this side, the best suggestion is to turn around and run the fuck away. He who fights and runs away lives to fight another day. Unless there's a wall right here and you have nowhere to go. Then you're gonna have to fight. So understand your whole body situation. This is the wall that I gotta worry about right now. So since my left elbow was closer to him, I want to deliver a left elbow and a right foot to this guy because I see him coming out of my peripheral. And then I can face this guy. See the body position, there's a triangle here. Alright? And in that triangle, I intend on turning that triangle into my favor. Alright? So this guy is the most dangerous because he was behind me. So when he was in this position, boom, I can sidestep and I can block low because I'm short, or I can throw an elbow high and grab him. Now you also got to understand where you hit somebody is very, very important. So since he's taller, I want midsection unless his crotch is right here. Now if his crotch is right here, his testicles just became his worst enemies because that's exactly where I'm going to hit him. Because I'm going to survive this shit. I'm not just going to lay these three dudes down and let them beat my ass. That's not a fucking option. So again, body positioning. This is the striking distance. This is that striking distance. See where my legs and my arms are. This is not striking distance, but they'll be stepping into my strike zone. So if I decide, boom, they're in my strike zone. This leg is still on the ground. And I fucked up in case y'all didn't notice, but I'll let you know I fucked up. I did this. What I did wrong was I didn't pay attention to the third guy. So understand how fighting works. There's 3 dudes here. You can't take your eye off the ball. You know, which is again why you get the guy in the back first. Boom, boom, boom. Go back to the guy because he might get back up. All right. In fact, there's a high chance that they will all get back up. Knowing that shit, you're gonna have to understand that the concept of you getting jumped will be because there's always more than one. And when there's 3 people and the 2 on the sides have backed you up toward the guy in the back is the most dangerous opponent because you don't know he's there. Now, if we take him out the equation and it's just these 2 guys, I still have my triangle. Right step, punch, left step, punch. You know, or right punch, left punch. Right punch, left punch. Now, if these guys are martial artists, I gotta times the range of their kicks. Now remember, he's not in the equation. So this is my striking distance. Alright? For my leg, for my arm. So that's about 2 steps for this dude. 1 and a punch. 1 and a punch. Alright? But that's because of where they are. Now if we move him just off frame, and we move him just off frame, you understand, now it's the 2 step. 1, 2, I should be striking. 1, 2, I should be striking. Now, the reason why I tell you it's a 2-step process is because people don't walk in a straight line when they fight. They might run in a straight line, but 9 times out of 10, they don't walk in a straight line. You know, they'll like do this movie shit. Nah, that's not how that shit works. Usually, if you're about to get into a fight and they're gonna jump you, they're gonna be coming at you pretty fast. Which again is why if this guy's in the factory, he's the first guy you hit. Boom, boom, boom. Now that there, he could have caught my arm and broke my elbow. Which is why you kind of want to hold on to this guy. So I elbow him and I grab him. I got him. I can kick this guy and put him between me and him because this guy still hurt from the elbow. Which, with a copy Master Ken, I hit him in the no-no square. Alright? So let's say I don't elbow him there. He's tall, so I elbow low. Now that he's bent over, I got options. I still got to worry about these guys, but I got options with this guy. I don't need him in his shit. He comes down, boom, 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 bam. You know, I can push him in any direction between these 2 guys. Alright? And you're going to have to do that because it's 3-on-1. So, time is getting on the edge. It is almost 6 o'clock. Alright, so now we're going to do bound fighting, and then I'm going to end the lives, and I'm going to end the video. So if you've missed it, whatever you missed, you can go to Kung Fu Havoc number 2 and possibly like an hour or 2 because I got to pack all this shit up before I can post. So we're going to do bound fighting. Before we do bound fighting, rule number 1 is do not attempt this at home. Rule number 2 is that at no point in your life are you or should you ever be in a situation where your hands are tied. We do bound fighting behind the back first, and we do bound fighting in front of the hands last. In front of the hands, you have more options. Behind the back, you do not. So, 1, you're not doing this. You're not doing this. You're not doing this. Because these damn things are going to fuck you up. You're also not doing a butterfly kick, which I suck at, so we're not going to do that. Hip replacement has limited my motions. Alright? 9 times out of 10, you're not going to need these 3 guys. But, since they're already on the field, we're going to use 1. Alright? So we're going to use this one. That's because he's right there. Alright? So we're going to move him. I'm not going to kick him. We're going to move him here. Alright? Now again, we do behind the back first. So before I do anything with this scarecrow, I'm going to put things on. And I'm going to show you that they're behind the back. Alright? This is my blocking range because I'm not flexible. Now if you're one of those contortionist people, this is not going to bother you because you can just pop your elbows and shit out of place and slide that rope back over your head which you could go back into doing first can defense. Alright, so I'm not a strong fighter. This guy's roughly my size, maybe a little taller because of the hill we're on, but I want to escape. My door's over there, so I'm going to use an outside to inside kick with my left leg, which is this leg closest to you. I'm going to kick him in that direction, and I'm going to run in the direction of the camera. So if he's coming at me, you see I post it, and I'm going to take my left leg, boom! He's over there, I'm going to pop my hips and I'm going to run toward the door. Alright? If the door's over there, I'm going to do the exact same thing with the opposite leg, because I really can't protect myself very well, so I got to make sure this shit counts. So, boom! He's over this way, the door's over here. You have to understand, if you're going to be fighting with your hands tied behind your back, you're going to need to have an escape route, and that's your only mission. Your only mission is to escape. Do not engage if you are not a strong martial artist. And I don't just mean physically strong, I mean mentally strong. My goddamn alarm's going off. You're going to have to make sure that you know your escape route. You're also going to have to make sure you understand that he who fights and runs away can live to fight another day. And in this situation, if they tied you up, you can live and fight by going to the police. However, I don't know what kind of life you're living if you're fighting with your hands tied to begin with. So if it's not in the movies, you're probably not going to ever have to use the shit that I'm showing you. But, again, if you're fighting, you don't want to kick your opponent in the way of your escape. So if my door is over there, and now I'm going to use the right leg inside to outside crescent kick, would be wrong. Now, bug just flew in my goddamn eye. Fucking it. Because my door is here, so this is wrong. Okay? If my door's over there, I want to use that kick, but with this leg, inside to outside, sending him in this direction. Alright? So, hands back behind my back. Yes, my eyes are closed because something went in it. So I post, he's coming, boom. I send him in that direction, and I go in this direction. The reason why I do that is because I'm not trying to engage this dude. Now let's say the door is directly behind this guy. I'm gonna put my hands back behind my back in a minute. So you want to keep this shit basics. Push kick the son bitch all day. You know, he's coming, boom. That slows him down. You're hitting him in his gut. If you miss the gut, then you want to aim low. So if you hit him in the testicles, boom, you're gonna bring the knee to his face. All right, because that's gonna be your saving grace, provided that he goes down. And you want to bring that knee as fast as you do the kick. So when you boom, boom, bring that knee. Because if he falls the wrong way and he has enough momentum, he's going to tackle you. And he's going to land on you, and you're going to land on your arms, and something could go wrong, and your shit could get broke. So you don't want to do that. So if he's coming, boom, reposition, boom, reposition. You know, side kicks and front kicks. You want to keep that shit basic. Not this shit. Boom. Ugh. You see how I barely pulled that off? That's exactly why you're not going to do that if your hands tied behind your back. Watch carefully. This shit could get you fucked up. Ugh. My balance is off. Now watch again without it that way. Now you see it looks a whole lot more crisp than it did with my hands tied behind my back. Understand how that works. Hands are tied behind your back, you are in problems. Hands are not tied behind your back, it's not limiting your balance. Hopefully y'all understand that shit. So if he's coming at me and my hands are tied behind me, push kick, step back, side kick, step back, push kick or side kick. Or if you want to be really slick, and you remember that scene from the Black Panther, side kick, push kick. Alright? So there's your kung fu for you for today. Now, again, as I get up here, this is the limit of my block. That's it. Because I'm not a contortionist, I'm not very flexible. This is not going to be a very protective block. If they're turning a round kick, which they're going from my right side of my face, which means they're doing a left round kick. This block, it's not going to be much batting power behind it. Because my arm is stuck in this here position. and I'm not flexible. So if I'm not flexible, I'm running into a problem. All right. So right like this, blocking preferred, but barely optional. And I mean that it's barely optional. Now, if you're flexible, you can ignore everything I said as long as you have proper training. But if you're not flexible, like me, you're probably going to get your shit fucked. So again, you want to be able to reposition yourself after every kick. Boom, step, boom, step, boom. Or again, boom, boom. Now, you gotta understand something. The power dynamic is shifted. It is not in your favor because your hands are tied behind your back. It is putting you in a position where you are practically defenseless. I mean, you can do good with your feet until you can't. And then you gotta understand a couple of things that I probably should have mentioned at first. Your cardio is very fucking important in a fight. Your toughness is also very important in a fight. I'm not gonna really bank you guys on strength because I'm not very strong. But I'm very strong-willed, I'm very strong-minded, and I'm gonna tell you what works and what does not. And yes, I have field tested this shit. It is not the best idea, but it does not hurt to have this training. Now, we're gonna go to the front. So as we go to the front, I'm going to show you your ability to block has just jumped up 10,000%. All right. So as I always do when I do these, high right, medium with knee, low. High left, medium with knee, low. The reason why you have that ability is now that your hands are in front of you. You can windshield wipe that shit all day. Now the trick is teaching your hands how to work together as a cohesive unit. Boom, blocks, boom. Understand? So if you have some Thai fighting, you recognize this block. All right? If you had American kickboxing, you still recognize this block. Thai fighting is more open hand. American kickboxing is more closed. However, it also depends on who the fuck's teaching you what. All right? Always remember, when people teach you a style that they were taught, they modify it and they teach it to you. As it evolves, you will evolve, and you will also modify that style to teach to someone else. And eventually, whatever your legacy is left, the style will have evolved into that, and TikTok just froze for a second. So again, anything you guys miss, at about like maybe 8 or 9 o'clock, go to Kung Fu Havoc number 2. It should probably be up. And Gatorade should still give me a job. I need another hit. Now, I did say these were don'ts, but I'm going to show it anyway. So, now that my hands are in front of me, I can pull off that reverse tornado. I can pull off that. Set them up. I can pull off that now. Now, because I have my hands in front of me, boom, boom, boom. You know, I have the ability to do more out of my arsenal versus what I couldn't do when my hands are like this. This elbow strike, non-existent. This elbow strike, you see the difference? Block, strike, block, kick, strike. Those are things I can do now because my hands are no longer bound behind my back. So if he's charging and I sidestep, boom, I can bring a knee to him. When that knee comes down and he bends over, boom, I can elbow. Then I can tie this rope around his neck. Take him to the ground, knee and belly, knee and back, knee and throat. There's a lot more I can do now because this shit's right here. Now, let me take my hand out. Now if I get behind him and I pull up on him like this, I want my knee in his back. Because that's going to be the difference maker if I get to go home or not. And so you want to be able to go home. Now, that being said, it's easy to fight with your hands tied up together this way. Block. I got my rope-a-dope or my pak sao for Kung Fu. Or I can block and strike, and this knot is going into his throat. So, boom, he's giving me the weapon. But it's only a weapon as long as it's not back here. That's not gonna work here. Alright? If anything, he's gonna catch my hands and now he's gonna jack me up some more. And you don't want that. So hopefully I taught you guys something. And again, anything that you guys missed on live TikTok or the live Instagram, probably about 9 o'clock tonight, it'll be on my YouTube channel, Kung Fu Havoc #2. I want to thank you guys for being here. I'm your host, Kung Fu Havoc #2, Echo Fang Grey Wolf. Be seeing you. Thank you guys for the live. Instagram ended, TikTok didn't. I hate technology. I don't understand why this isn't working. Come on. Ah, shit. I got bubbles now. I don't know what the fuck that is. Okay, there we go. Love you guys. It's still not working. All right. All right. So, first things first, put the weapons up. I don't think I stopped the YouTube. And I didn't. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Echo Fang Grey Wolf. This is Kung Fu Havoc #2. I'm going to make one more video for y'all. It'll be a bonus video. So thanks for watching.